right, who's ready for the new episode to start? I am
Week
Blau.
six, week 6 recap, Adam. How we doing today?
I'm doing good. I know you're feeling a little bit under the weather though. That's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
We can
Luckily,
power through it.
we'll power through. And luckily today we have a very special guest. I want to say I want to say it was maybe Grace Chairs' first Instagram follower, so he was very far ahead of the curve. But Jordan Jesse's here today, owner of Grace Chairs Cross Pattern, and we're more than ecstatic to have him.
I'm excited to get to talk to him too. You know, he's the number one draft pick this year, and he did superb with that.
Thanks, dude.
I mean, all things considered, being 3-3 after having JJ, two big time players go down, including Christian McCaffrey. There's a lot to be said for that and the management of your team. So I give you credit.
Yeah. You know, I know players don't play to for fantasy; they play for points. But he could have told us more than an hour out from the very first game that he was going to miss 6 to 7 weeks. You know, that'd have been awesome.
He could have.
Yeah, you've really been. I'm looking at your team right now. You've really been dealing with some of the. You've really been dealing with the injury bug. Dallas.
Hey, let me tell you guys. JJ has fought fucking all kinds of shit throughout his life. He's fucking won everything. He's here now. He's fighting fucking injuries, and guess what? He's gonna fuck those up too.
Well, how am I supposed to go to sleep tonight getting all pumped up like that?
I know. Damn right. It's a real American hero here.
I'm about to re-enlist.
I'm serious.
No, it's a pleasure to be on. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
If you do re-enlist, we would have our first international participant in the game. It's kind of like the Jaguars going to London, except you can have your team in like Gaza or something.
I'd have to change my team roster on Wednesday, and hopefully the lag would change it by Sunday when the game started.
So you'd really have to be sure that there's going to be no injuries for that week because you're setting things hours and days in advance. Seems challenging, but if there's a man to do it, it's you.
Yeah. No thanks. I don't want to go back there.
No, don't go back there. We want you here. We want you here
stateside. I don't care. I'm going to hold you back. With my
Hold me
big
tight.
bear arms.
Hold me tight.
I will. Hey, since we got you here, then why don't we take a look and see what's going on? You guys ready? It's coming.
Behind
the
tool
shed.
Oh. It just gets worse every time.
I think it's supposed to go that way. I think it is.
I think
you gotta put some echo on it. You gotta be like behind the tool shed.
Oh yeah, we might. Adam, can you work that out in the post production?
Actually, no, I can't. We're gonna just have to do it live. We're gonna have to.
All right, we'll do it when we finish.
Yeah, we'll do echo when we finish.
But JJ, since you're with us, tough matchup against Petrin this week. Petrin, I believe, was the high score of week 6. So tough matchup. He's the champion last year. I know we gave him some shit last week about not playing a quarterback, but he came back with a vengeance. So I'm curious. I'm curious what you think about your matchup with Adam and how you're feeling going forward. I know you're still 500 with those injuries, so things are still looking optimistic for you.
So 2 things. One, big congratulations to Petrin on a dominant win at that.
Yeah.
If you look at if you look down his roster and you look at projected points, and then you look at every single one of his players outshined even ESPN's projections. So that's really good to see. Really good job. And then it looks like he picked the right players to play. No one outscored people from the bench onto his active roster. So good for him. But that's kind of the way. Honestly, I think I'd rather lose. I don't want to lose by 3 points, and then I see someone, if I would have changed on my bench, oh man, I could have won if I was smart. So now I'm just going to blame it all on the team. I'm going to put it all on the players and say, you all suck. I did my job. Yeah. What are you doing?
I think you should put everybody on the trading block like Blau attempted to do last.
Well, it only worked for one. It only worked for 1 week because I got shit on by Tony this week. So I don't know that that's a great motivational tactic to use, JJ. But if you're desperate for a win, it might be a good one-time solution.
Yeah. Well, there might be some future movements here. I'm in talks with one or two teams about making some roster changes.
Yeah.
But really, yeah, like you said, with that number one overall going down, it really what you have to brace yourself for is all right. It's to kind of try and stay in the competition the first few weeks. Try and stay where I'm in striking distance, and now hopefully people coming off IR. Not saying Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to do anything, but he might make a flash. But people are come off IR, so maybe I'll make a push here at the end and get into the playoffs, and then hopefully do some real damage.
I mean, Hawkinson's back soon, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
He is questionable for this weekend. Yep.
Devontae Adams now a Jet.
Now a Jet. I tried to pick up Aaron Rodgers.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. That's going to help you for sure. Hopefully not this week though.
Yeah. I'm going against the number one. And if there's anyone that deserves number one, it's you. I was looking at the stats. Obviously you've scored the most points and everything. So you're you get people up there to their points against is really low, and you're yeah, you don't deserve to be number one. You're just getting freaking lucky every matchup. But you're dominating the league, so good for you, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate that. And I worked hard. I picked the people who I thought were gonna score big, and that's what I did. I worked hard.
You made some roster moves.
Yeah, I did pick up someone over the waiver wire, and it was actually someone that I had drafted in the draft itself and then let go later on, but I redrafted him, so we'll see how he does for me this week. I felt like going up against a 3-3 team, might as well just throw this in there without any problem.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just make quick work of me, right? Respect.
Listen, I'm going the hard route. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not usually that guy that is fuck you guys, but you know what? I am now.
Hey, there's money on the line. You got to be like that, right, Blau?
Damn right.
Hey, whenever there's money on the line, you got to worry about yourself first.
You're damn right. Well,
but you had a tough matchup, Adam. Anthony's team played really well this week. I know he was disappointed with the outcome of the matchup. He scored a lot of points. He had good showing from Purdy and Komet and a couple folks, but you're just too strong. You're just too strong yet again.
I had another game, another weekend actually is what it was, where my opponent was technically leading me going into Monday. And in this instance, Anthony was ahead 136 to 120, I think it's something like that I had. And all I had was Breece Hall to play on Monday night. And Breece has had a couple down games, the past 2 games, but before that he was really high. And I had even, kind of put it out there on a certain night that I said, hey, Breece Hall for Ja'Marr Chase, and someone laughed at me, but I got Breece Hall to score me almost 23 points, and he's back up on top again. Just saying.
Yeah, it's hard to trade a running back it's hard to trade a wide receiver for a running back in a PPR league. So maybe it'll come back to haunt me in the long term. But
I think the thing is that he's a running back and basically a receiver. So you got 2 and 1 there. Just saying. I don't think I can trade him now. He's untradeable. I had that offer out there, but kind of taking it back.
That's okay. I'm in discussions with some other teams right now to kind of reevaluate my roster as we approach the midway point of the season here. So
yeah, Anthony, though, I will say that Anthony was devastated at his loss. He texted me and just said, "You are the man, the myth, and the legend all in one, living right in front of him." So.
Anthony's had some tough losses this year. He lost by 13 to you, and then he lost by 0.5 or something like that to me, or 0.8.
He's got a team that can win. It's just he's gone up against, and I think we texted today here. He's going up. He's got the gauntlet. He had me last week. Now he's got Jim this week. Big teams to go against. Big teams.
Look at you, Adam. I'm looking at the standings. You have 108. You have 841 points for. The next closest I see is Jimmy at 789. So you're 52 points ahead of everybody The funny thing is, and I know we touched on it last week, but you've also allowed the most points. So your offense is dominating people. You're having a tough time on defense, but you're still winning games. So that's all that matters. 4 in a row.
Yep.
4 in a row.
Well, I'm hoping to keep it going. I going up against a team that can show parts of greatness here and there, and we'll see if they come through. But
he goes from hard ass to shows teams parts of great. Okay, I like it.
The one matchup I wanted to talk about a little bit was we had Trev on last week, owner of Illegal Touching, versus we played Gage, Billy top, Trev and bottom. I believe Trev pulled off the Monday Night Miracle and beat Gage by points. There's 1.65 points. I know Trevin was predicting a win for himself, and there seems to be a little angst in the group chat again with those two. So maybe I'll put this out there to the members of the league that maybe get the two of them on here and let them argue it out. I'd love to hear that.
That would be another good one for sure. Fucking Greg Zerloin. Oh man, did you guys watch the Jets game on Monday? That was just terrible. Gage's kicker, Greg Zerling, missing those. I think there was 2 field goals that could have put him over. That could have won.
Weren't they like chip shots too? They weren't even like long field goals.
Oh, I think what was going on is even the other team's kicker missed their field goal too, and it was a point after attempt that they missed. But there was a lot of wind in the stadium, so I think after the first guy missed, and then Greg misses after that, I think it kind of fucks with them. They're like, all right, the wind is really blowing shit, so I need to adjust for that. And then the second one that he missed, you look at the flags on the poles, they're completely straight down. There was no wind, but I think he overcorrected with that in mind and missed it again. So if he would have made those, Gage could have been on top.
You know who wouldn't miss field goals in the Meadowlands? That would be good old Chris Boswell. He's used to kicking balls down there at the point, with a wind whipping off the lawn. So he's breathing in that bad air and still making field goals down there at Heinz Field. We're not going to call it Acrisure Stadium. But I think Boswell makes those in the Meadowlands too.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's hard to win a game whenever your flex puts up 0 points, though.
That's true. That is true. You can't. You're not winning games a lot. I think there has been a few instances where games have still been won with a player not scoring, but that's not very common for sure.
No, but very, very competitive week.
Yeah, Devin Singletary. I think he was like a game time decision must have been, because he had no chance of playing, and I believe Drew played his backup that game. I'll pull it up here.
Oh, while you're pulling that up, speaking of
Tyrone Tracy, yeah,
while you're pulling that up, speaking of backups. Tony picked up Ray Davis in the very late moments of Monday evening before the game started, which netted him about 18.2 points. He was already going to beat me, but he had Zamir White went for 0 points. I had Travis Etienne, who stinks, minus 0.1.
Yeah,
I just got the floor wiped with me. I need to quit talking shit.
Listen, you could use a running back right now, and I had Breece Hall on the table for you, but guess that one's gone.
Wasn't Travis Etienne? Wasn't there a roster this week that was like the worst roster ever in fantasy football? It was like Dak Prescott as QB, Travis Etienne, and then like the defense was like the Cowboys defense or something like that.
I saw that on ESPN today. I think that team scored like
it was like 2 or 3 points,
2 or 3 points total. So things could always be worse, I guess.
It was like a team that it was a team you look at and you're like, okay, those are pretty decent players, and they just nothing.
No,
wow.
Yeah.
You want to cry a little more? I looked back at draft night, and I realized that you picked Travis Etienne before Derrick Henry was even picked, and you had the chance.
You pulled the Eagles there. You picked up Jalen Reagor before Justin Jefferson. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a little dagger to the heart there, Adam.
Oh, sorry.
Just kind of putting salt in the wound. But yeah, I'm not gonna take blame as a team owner for that. I'm gonna blame my scouts in the southeast. Obviously they saw something in Travis Etienne that hasn't produced yet this year. So we are in the market for a running back, and I will say, and I've said it to the league, one of the top quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, is on the block. So if anyone's interested in talking deals, you know how to get a hold of me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
All right.
before we move on, congrats to the winners this week: Tony, Xander, Petrin, Trev, Adam, yourself, Jimmy,
Yep.
and Drew. So another competitive week, a couple blowouts, a couple competitive matches. But looking forward to week 7.
Yep.
Which I
Congrats,
believe-
week 6
yeah.
guys.
Yep, congrats. So
Well, do you want to talk about who had a pretty good week?
yes.
Yeah, Drew had a pretty good week, apparently, according to ESPN. Stone Cold ET, because Stone Cold ET said so. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that on YouTube. He puts on an ET mask. He goes through like Burger King and all that, and he's like, "I'll take a double Whopper because Stone Cold ET said so."
That sparked an idea, Adam, and I'll let you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
That's all
I
right.
know we have our league representatives reaching out to the unforgivable guy to do the cameo for next year's draft. But I'm wondering if Stone Cold might be a solid number 2 choice if we can't get the unforgivable guy.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, if there's any chance of getting JJ, don't you know him personally? The unbelievable guy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he came over to my house once or twice while I was at IUP.
Yeah, you're just
I
not
thought
allowed
he
to
went to
say
IUP. I thought he went to IUP.
it. Yeah. So that would be a good backup then. Stone Cold. We can get him on. I mean, he's out there just doing his thing out on his ranch, talking to his cats that he has. So we're good. I bet we could get him if not. So. But Stone Cold ET, aka Drew, squeaked out a victory against Billy. He's Billy, still having a hard time. You had a chance this week, but squeaked out a victory against you in what was an absolute snooze fest compared to the others. This was the snooziest, boringest game of the week. Points were very hard to come by in this matchup. In fact, 105 to 90 advances Drew to 5-1. Same as me, but I don't feel it's the same as me. I just don't feel it, man.
The momentum's all in your favor. It seems like I know I've given Drew a lot of credit the last few weeks here, but it seems like he's just holding on. I'm gonna stop there because I play him this week, and I'm not really interested in bad karma. I've already had enough of that this week, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop there.
Gotcha.
He had a bunch of buys, didn't he?
He did, and some hurt players. With who went down. He had a player beforehand go down the week
Nico
before.
Collins is hurt.
Yes, that's what it
He's
was.
always a big guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp's been out for him for a while, and then Patrick Mahomes, Justin Jefferson run by. So careful, Blau.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenging matchup.
It will. But Billy, you had Kenneth Walker do really well for you. Hopefully it stays that way. Jahmyr Gibbs out in Detroit didn't do terrible. He got you 12 points. That's respectable. It'd be great to get him like 18, 20 points. But Mike Evans, geez, not having a good week, even though they won. Tampa Bay won 51-27. Sorry, Mike Evans just did not perform. DJ Moore, Chicago. Chicago's become a pretty good team, and I've had DeAndre Swift, the running back out there, who's done really well. But I just wonder if DeAndre Swift's taking some balls away from DJ Moore. But yeah,
but Caleb
Johnson,
Williams. Yeah. Caleb Williams is spreading it around. Didn't he have 4 touchdown passes last week? Yeah, he had his kind of rookie coming out party.
Yeah. So it's exciting. It's exciting for their offense to get moving. It's time we get some competitiveness out of Chicago. So good for
Well, I'll
them.
tell you what, the NFC North is stacked this year.
Stacked.
Chicago's what, fourth in that division or something like that, and they're that good.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. That's good for fantasy teams, though. That's good for fantasy. So yeah, hey, Bill, you're getting there, man. I can see it. I can see it happening for you. It might just take a little while.
Got to get over that 100 mark.
Yeah,
it's his first year in the league. He'll adjust and
yeah,
I think he'll be competitive the rest of the way out.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at the top scoring players for this week here. And with that dominating 50-something whatever win, Baker Mayfield is our top scorer player of the week here, and that's Gage's boy right there. 43.2 points for Gage.
Is that half his points total? That
Yeah, pretty much. In this,
It's pretty close.
yikes.
Yeah, it must have been Baker top, Trev bottom this week with Baker going off because the rest of the team didn't do anything. The rest of Gage's team, that is.
Yeah, I mean, both of his receivers were 0 or under, negative 0.5 and 0. Goodness gracious, that was a terrible turn of events there.
Oh, look, there's 3 NFC North quarterbacks on the top 5 scores this week. Goff, Caleb Williams, and Jordan Love. And probably, Sam Darnold's probably not there because they had a bye, didn't they?
They had a bye week, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and so you typically see the quarterbacks being the top scorers, and then there's usually one of the top scorers recipients being in that top 5 as well, and that just happens to be Chris Godwin from Tampa Bay, Jimmy's team, 39.5 points. So Chris Godwin, is it Chris Godwin? I believe, right? Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm terrible with first names. I should just stick to saying last names. Godwin.
Mr. Godwin.
Mr. Godwin scored 39.5 points for Zagama Beach.
Zagama Beach.
Zagama Beach.
Actually,
I like Tony's Zmegma Beach, actually. So.
Yeah, Adam tried to explain that to me, and I still don't understand it, but that's probably a conversation for another day.
Could be.
But what's really fun? What's really funny? Jared Goff is a number 2 scorer, and he was on Craig's bench.
That's what we got to do. We got to get. Yep. So if we look at the bench players, most valuable bench warmers, definitely Jared Goff being the number 1 bench warmer at 40.3. That's Craig. What happened, man? Who did he play? Let me see. Let's get in there. He went with Jordan Love. But so it's not that bad of a difference because Jordan Love got 37.2 points.
Okay.
So yeah. But and in this instance, he was up against Jimmy, so wouldn't have made a difference anyway. He got
it could have made a difference.
It would have made
not.
a 43 point win turn into a 40-point win.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No, it wouldn't have made a difference. I can't do math right now.
Yeah, because you were 114 to 157.
Yeah.
So
math isn't my strong point.
Yeah, plus you're kind of fucked up on meds right now, so
that's also true. Not that I condone that.
Man, Cowboys though for Craig getting him negative 6 points. That's tough. So yeah, he didn't have a good matchup against Jim, but I don't think he could have played anybody else any differently. So,
well, let's talk about the Cowboys. They fucking suck. Like,
fucking.
How do you sign Dak? How do you sign Dak for all that money and this is what's coming out? Not blaming it on him or anything, but as a team, like, you can't spend all that money and expect and score 9 points? Is that how many they scored?
Yeah, 9 to 47.
Yeah, and Dak only had 5. Only the Punksy people are going to get this reference, but I feel like we could have thrown Joe Martin or Dustin Dubensky out there for quarterback, and he would have scored. They would have scored more points than Dak Prescott.
No, for sure. Just check it down. You'd be better than Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
I feel like our Turkey Bowl team could have played better than the Dallas Cowboys did this weekend.
You put Jim Lewis at middle linebacker, just concussing people, and they can do better than the Cowboys defense.
I want to. I'm trying to figure out if I know anybody in Punxsutawney who could snap me like a really drunk picture of Dennis, so Jimmy can make his team name the Concussion King, and just have a picture of Dennis up from the Turkey Bowl.
That would be perfect. Oh God.
But I digress.
Yeah, sorry. JJ, by the way, we all decided we are still going to get together for the Turkey Bowl, but we're just going to throw the ball around. We're just going to huck it and chuck it. That's all.
I tell you what, I played flag football. Was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I think? And
Yeah.
I broke my toe and I'm out of shape and I was sore for a week, so I would
Yeah.
not
I'm
take
so
this
sore.
throw-
But those fourth graders never saw you coming.
You're right. Parents didn't like it so much, me running onto the field with just flags on.
That's how you're
You're-
supposed to do it.
You're like Kramer when he joined the kids' karate class. He got his black belt by beating them all up.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, look at these false
Yeah.
starters, Adam. We talked about Dak
Oof.
Prescott, 5 points. Marvin Harrison Jr., tough one for Trev, and they pulled out the win, 0 points.
Yeah.
And of course, looking at the bottom there, the Travis Etienne disaster.
Mm.
Disappointing for, these are all perennial players, big contracts, a lot of hype, especially
Yeah.
on Marvin Harrison Jr. Not a great week for these guys.
No, and you're gonna have some down weeks. It's just unfortunate that happens. That your down week guy got hurt, right? Didn't ETN get hurt?
Yeah, he has a hamstring, so
Yeah.
we'll see where that goes.
So listen, that's another thing where I think last week I even did this where I said, I had a player or somebody had a player that got hurt that was on a false starter. You had to start him. You have to start ETN if he's healthy. But
Yeah.
So I don't think this doesn't take that into account that he got hurt. It wasn't that he just fucking sucked. He just didn't.
Well, the Jaguars might be as bad as the Cowboys, so
I think they need to stop playing overseas. I think that's the problem.
I agree. They have another game in London this week.
They're like, what are you doing to us?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yeah, that sucks.
Oh,
It's called the National Football League, not the International Football League.
yes.
I want my 1
so
o'clock Sunday. I want my 1 o'clock Sunday games because I'm a boomer.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Who fucking wakes up at 9 o'clock to watch a football game?
1 o'clock, Vikings, Lions. Let's go.
This week, big matchup.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's huge.
It is. It is.
But I'm looking at the next one. We got the Monday Night Miracle, and we talked about that with Trev.
Yeah.
Overcoming
Yep.
Gage. Thanks to some shit
Womp,
kicks from
womp,
Greg,
Womp, womp,
from what they formerly called Greg the Leg, but he doesn't have much of a leg anymore.
No,
So
Greg the Steg is more like it.
yeah, he don't have that. He doesn't have that third leg like the two of you guys do. They can score them
You're right.
fantasy points.
You're right.
So-
we used to tie ours together, and girls would use it to play whatever the fuck that thing is, where you jump rope.
Really crazy image in my head right now that I don't want to think
Yeah.
about anymore. So let's move on.
I think we have one last one. We have the game changer. We didn't go over the game changer.
No, we didn't. Go ahead.
For Jim. Jim had Chris Godwin on there. Yeah, we talked about because he was on the top scorer, and he made the difference for sure, getting Jim almost 40 points. And so if you would have taken away those 40 points, that game is a little close. If he would have played someone that didn't get any points, Craig might have had a chance. But it shouldn't be a surprise because last week's game changer is Chris. Let me try that again. This shouldn't be a surprise, but last week's game changer is Chris Godwin. I got it that time, you guys. I've had 2 beers already.
Way to go to Jim, putting him in, keeping him in and having faith in him.
Yeah. Yep. Chris has been wonderful this whole year, I think. It used to be Mike Evans was the number one out there, but I think Chris has really become the big guy out there now.
Not to change the topic here, but the Penguins game since we've started this is nuts. It was 4-3.
Yeah.
Now it's 5-5 with 40 seconds left. So
Going into overtime, boys.
Good game down there at PPG Paints Arena.
Damn right. They pulled Jari after the first period, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't
first
wanna
3
talk-
goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jari stinks.
Yep. Great job, Jari.
Bring
So,
back Flurry.
You're damn right.
Yeah, he's
We
sitting on
don't
the
even
bench in
need a
Minnesota.
backup.
Bring him back. So, but why don't we look at some matchups we're excited for this week? Why don't JJ?
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot. Why don't you give us a quick rundown? Give us a quick rundown what you're excited for in week 7. Yeah, what you're thinking for your team, and give us another matchup outside of your own that you're excited to watch this week.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're going against the number one team in the league. And like I said earlier, he's not number 1 because he's getting lucky. He's number 1 because he's putting the points up there. So, this is kind of the turning week. This is kind of where I'm hoping Devontae Adams makes that Aaron Rodgers connection and maybe starts bumping up some points in my receiver core.
He said he's playing this week.
Yeah,
He
so
did.
I'm hoping, even though it's against the Steelers, that sucks.
Yeah, it's a tough first game to get back into it,
Either they, it's going to be like one of those, yay, oh, damn, whenever Devontae Adams catches 3 touchdowns, it's going to be like, great job for my fantasy. But at the same time, shit, it's against the Steelers. So, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's glim. It's glim. Even ESPN is telling me I'm going to lose by quite a bit. But I'm always,
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, projections are one thing, but so far I've come to find out like everyone has been either exceeding their projection or unperforming, I guess, whatever the fuck you call it, not performing as well as their projection. So maybe there's still hope for you, but not very much.
I would say my biggest matchup to watch, I think, is yours, Blau. It's see if you have what it takes to take out Drew. I know we talk about Drew. You guys talk about Drew a lot on this program, just because he is so, I wouldn't say invested, but he always seems very knowledgeable. I don't know how much time he actually takes researching, but he always does seem to be a step ahead, a week ahead. He's already making roster moves for next week, But, that should be a good game between you two. Hopefully not take sides or anything. Hopefully you guys put up a good match against each other. And,
Yeah.
So, I hate to look at projections. I am projected to win, but he still has some roster moves to make for Sunday. So we'll see what happens. But I think hopefully all I can ask for is a competitive matchup. So we'll see where it goes.
Definitely. Yeah. See, like my problem is I don't know who a lot of these people even are. Like Dearness Johnson. You would ask me who's he on? I'd have been like, I don't even know this dude. This even dude.
Yeah, are we talking football?
I know who Barry Sanders is.
Yeah, he plays baseball, doesn't he?
But it looks good. I mean, it looks like you have a solid team. It looks like ESPN, like you said, is saying that it's going to be close. He still has to make some roster changes, like he said. But I guess we'll see. And good luck to both Yins.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the matchups this week. I see one rivalry matchup. We have our friends from Harrisburg and Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, out there in Central PA playing each other. Illegal touching versus Gene Sterator, Xander versus Trevin. Looks to be a very competitive matchup just based on the paper. Everything else. We'll see where things play out. I don't know. I'm very intrigued by Anthony and Jimmy's matchup. Right now they're projected to be pretty close, and we'll see what happens with the injury report as it comes out this week. But I think Anthony might have a chance to take out Jimmy, and I think the old Musket Craig Phillips makes a little comeback this week and ends his 2-game losing streak.
Ooh.
Respect to Xander, though. I was looking earlier before you guys invited me on. He has not made a single roster move yet this year. He is just going with his draft, and he's just hammering it. So good for him for being fantastic.
He has a great team.
Yeah.
Great team.
Great draft. I mean, and he's just sticking with it, and he knows what he's doing. Forward too. I mean, not a single roster or not a single transaction. So good for him.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And he's sticking with Tyreek Hill, but what else, I guess, is he gonna do? You got to go with the guy, especially on a bye week. He could have, if it wasn't a bye week, probably could have played Keenan Allen instead. But yeah, hey, good for Xander, man. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close one. I agree. But my game to watch, I think I'm gonna agree with Blau, is going to be with Jimmy versus Anthony there. Just going by projection. And plus Jimmy, he's in third place, so got to knock him down a few pegs, get him out of there, protect my lead. But Anthony, I kicked your ass this week, but I need you to take that rage, that pure personal anguish you have from losing to me, and just put it out there to Jim. Just take him down. And the same thing with you, Blau. I need you to just get everything you have. And
I'm gonna dedicate my week to you, Adam. I'm gonna dedicate week 7 to you. I'm gonna try and take Drew down on behalf of your squad, and see where you end up.
Yeah. I will say I don't think I've ever been in this position before, being the leader for so long, and it's kind of starting to fuck with me. Like this isn't right. I'm getting that imposter syndrome. Like this isn't real for me. I'm not up here, but I am so far.
Sid just won it in overtime.
Fucking right.
6-5. Let's go.
Right. Good shit.
I'm gonna take that as a sign that I'm gonna win this week.
Hey, but I'm a Penguins fan too. What the frick?
If Sid wins, frig off. If Sid wins, we all win.
You're damn right. Yeah. Hey, let's just put everybody on the bench. See what happens.
No collusion. No collusion. No collusion.
Honor of Sid winning it in overtime. I think it's like our first overtime win in like 10 years, it feels like.
Yeah, since 2017. The Stanley Cup year.
Yep.
Oh, and Letang has a hideous beard now. Oh my god, he's so ugly.
Watch your mouth. All right, it's my boyfriend.
That man is. I met that man. I told him. I said, "Grow the beard out." That beard is because of me.
Is that before or after your 7 minutes of heaven with him?
That was actually before and after. I said it twice to him just to really, really pound it into him.
Yeah, I was curious why you and Letang and Mikey and Big Bob kind of walked away from the crowd and were getting into some extracurricular activities. So just curious what you guys were doing.
We were having we were going for our own Stanley Cup in a different way.
But I hate to say this, boys. The delirium is kicking in. I'm getting ready to sign off here. It's been a rough week at the Blau house. So yeah. I wish you guys both the best of luck. I know you'll have a very contested matchup. I'm excited to watch it. Excited to watch all the matchups this week. I think it should be an exciting week 7. JJ, we really appreciate you coming on. Just know you're always welcome. Great stuff today. Appreciate your analysis and insight. And I'll just say to leave you guys, just frig off.
Frig off. Just frig off. This has been Behind the Tool Shed.
Shed.